So in this video we're going to be looking at factorizing a monic quadratic. Now, first you need to know what a quadratic is and what monic quadratic means. Now first, a quadratic is when a function has the highest power of x being x squared. So that's a quadratic. These are all quadratics. They will have something squared out the front. Now something is a monic quadratic when the a value, the number out the front of the x squared, is equal to 1. So that means that it's monic. Okay, so monic means a equals 1. Now b can be any number and c can be any number. Now, if we had, for argument's sake, x times by, I don't know, let's change that to x plus 2, x plus 3. So we would use FOIL to expand this out. It would be x times x is x squared, x times 3 is 3x, 2 times x is 2x, and 2 times 3 is 6. And then to simplify this, we would get x squared plus 3x plus 2x is 5x plus 6. Now, factorizing is the opposite of expanding. So if we expanded from this to this, well, factorizing would be going the reverse, from this back to the factorized bracket. So when we have an x squared term, we're going to have needed an x times an x. So this is the process we're going to be doing. We're going to be going from one of these to double brackets. And the strategy we use is the following. What we need is, we need two numbers that multiply to give us c. So in this case, two numbers that multiplied to give us 6 were 3 and 2. And what we need is, those two numbers need to add to give us the b number, the one in the middle. Well, 3 plus 2 gives us 5. So we're going to use this idea, and once we do a few of them, you'll get the hang of it. So now, I've stuffed up when I type this out. This should be 9x. So when we have, so we need two numbers that multiply to give us the c, so the 14. So two numbers that multiply to give us 14. 7 and 2 instantly comes to mind. And we need them to add to give us the term in the middle. Well, easy. 7 plus 2 actually adds to give us 9. So you don't have to write this off to the side, I'm just doing it to help us. So if we were to factorize this, we're going to have x plus 7 and x plus 2. Because if we were to expand this out, we'd get x times x is x squared, x times 2 is 2x, 7 times x is 7x, 2x and 7x gives us 9x, and 7 times 2 is 14. So that's correct. So you can check that you're factorizing properly by expanding it out, but you don't need to. So this next one, so we need two numbers that multiply to give us negative 15. Well, 3 and 5. Is it negative 3 or is it negative 5 to get negative 15? We'll work that out in a minute. Now we need, so the 3 and 5, one of them has to be negative to give us negative 15. Now we need the b one to be negative 2. So we need the two numbers to add to give us negative 2. Well, if we make it positive 3 and we make 5 negative, 3 take 5 is negative 2. Okay, so it must be 3 and negative 5 to give us negative 15. So when writing this out, we would write out x plus 3 and x take 5. So it's quite tricky, but once you do enough of them, you get the hang of it. So x times x is x squared, x times minus 5 is minus 5x, 3 times x is 3x, negative 5x plus 3x is negative 2x, so we're good, and then 3 times minus 5 is negative 15. So I'm not going to check with all of them, I'm just checking to show you how it works. Now, this one, so we need two numbers that multiply to give us 4. Well, it could be 2 times 2, it could be 4 times 1. Now, they need to add to give negative 5. But it's positive. Two negatives makes a positive. So we could have negative 2 and negative 2. But that only adds up to negative 4x. Negative 4 and negative 1. That's negative 5. Perfect. So in our brackets we'll have x take 4 x take 1. Because if we were to expand this out, we're going to get x times x is x squared, x times minus 1 is minus 1x, minus 4 times x is minus 4x, and minus 4x take 1x is negative 5x. Beautiful. And negative 4 times negative 1 is positive 4. Now, so we need two numbers that multiply to give us the c. So two numbers that multiply to give us the 21. The only ones I can think of are 3 and 7. Now again, we have a really big negative, negative 10. Well, negative 3 and negative 7 also gives us 21. And negative 3 take negative 7, negative 3 take 7, or 3 plus negative 7 will give us negative 10. So our numbers in this one is x take 3, x take 7. So we're actually factorizing into double brackets. So we need two numbers that multiply to give us negative 6. I can think of 3 and 2. 3 and 2 gives us 5, but we need negative 6. So negative 3 times negative 2, or if one of these is positive and one's negative, that's not going to work. But what we can do is 6 and 1, because 6 times 1 is 6, and 6 take 1 is 5. So it's going to be 6 times negative 1 is negative 6, and 6 take 1, or 6 plus negative 1, is going to give us 5. So the two numbers that make this true is k plus 6 and k subtract 1. Because k times k is k squared, k times minus 1 is minus k, 6 times k is positive 6k, 6k take 1k is 5k, and 6 times minus 1 is negative 6. So two numbers that gives us negative 30 and adds to give 1. So 5 and 6 will give us 30. Now, which one's positive and which one's negative? One of them needs to be positive and one needs to be negative because we have a negative. So we want plus 1. So it's going to be minus 5 and positive 6 because 6 plus minus 5 will give us 1. So we'll have r take 5 and r plus 6. It doesn't matter what order we write these in. R times r is r squared, r times 6 is 6r, minus 5 times r is minus 5r, 6r and minus 5r is 1r, minus 5 times 6 is minus 30. So these are all working. Now this one we need two numbers that multiply to give us 20. So we could have 4 and 5, or we could have 10 and 2. Well, we need negative 9, because it's a negative. We know that it's going to be, and this is a positive. Well, in order to get positive 20, we're going to need a negative 4 and a negative 5. That'll give us positive 20, and negative 4 take 5 will give us negative 9. So it'll be m take 4 and m take 5. And the last example I wanted to do, so negative 36. So 6 and 6 gives us 36. But 6 plus 6, or 6 takes 6, doesn't give us 9. What else? 36. We could have 9 and 4. 9 times 4 is 36. But 9 take 4 is 5, so that doesn't work. 12 and 3. 12 and 3 is 36. And we need 9, so 12 take 3. So it'll be 12 take 3 is equal to 9. So two numbers that multiply to give us 36 would be 12 and negative 3. And two numbers that add up to give us 9, it would be 12 and negative 3. So it'll be p plus 12 and p subtract 3. So hopefully you're starting to get the hang of it. What I want you to do is do columns 1 and 3, but don't do the bottom two. Don't do the bottom two rows, because the bottom two rows have ones where it's not monic, so there is a number out the front, and I don't want you to do those ones yet. So do columns 1 and 3, but not the bottom two rows, and then do column 6, columns 1 and 3. Do all of them because this is really important to get your head around. So ask me for help if you need more help. Otherwise, give it a crack. Let me know if you have any issues. Cheers.